My name is Bruce Johnson, WUS 89. Been covering this great city of ours for 38 years now. I don't have to tell you how historic this is. Only the second female mayor in the history of this city. Three new DC council members, with 2 more to be added in special elections, and the city's first ever elected Attorney General. We're going to keep the speeches short. We're going to get out of here on time. The mayor will be sworn in by noon. And I just heard a voice over here say, "You got that right." We'd like to begin with the Metropolitan Police Department Honor Guard with the colors, followed by the Duke Ellington Choir for the national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Round of applause, please, for the Metropolitan Police Honor Guard and the Duke Ellington Vocal Ensemble. Right now, we're going to ask the Reverend Sylvia Sumter to come up for the invocation.
Good morning. Mayor-elect Bowser, judges, councilmen, other elected officials, and wonderful servants of this great city, and we the people of this city. This is an auspicious day, and we should always acknowledge it with prayer. So let us pray. O gracious Creator of all that is good and wondrous, we acknowledge and honor your blessed spirit and presence here today. And we ask your blessings upon this inaugural service and the swearing in of the Honorable Councilwoman Muriel Bowser and those of the Attorney General's staff. As the Mayor of the District of Columbia, we are grateful. May your divine wisdom be the guiding light as she begins and provides stellar leadership for this great city. Place it upon her heart to continue to serve with excellence, love, and humility, ever keeping in mind all who dwell and work herein. May her vision reach far and wide for what is possible and for what we may become as a community of citizens who desire to live together in harmony, honoring our diversity and celebrating our cultural richness. As she stands for open and good government, let all who serve alongside her and under her administration hold the highest principles for the highest good of all concerned. Bless them and all who come together with the task of working for the betterment of this city and the district known as the District of Columbia, for its residents, its community partners, and its businessmen. May all feel honored, heard, and acknowledged. We ask for your blessings of prosperity and the sharing of your abundant resources so that all may thrive and prosper. We ask that your infinite spirit will fall upon all of us, that we truly might come together in the spirit of oneness. Keep us and guide us and guard us in the days ahead. And we ask that you continue to strengthen us as we move forward together in the spirit of unity. For these and greater blessings, we are grateful and thankful. In the name and through the living and loving and dwelling presence that unites us all, we say, Amen, amen, and amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. With welcoming remarks, we'd like to call up D.C. Congressional Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton.
Thank you very much, Mayor Williams, Mayor Fenty, Mayor Vincent Gray, who deserves our appreciation for his many accomplishments as mayor. Mayor-elect Muriel Bowser, who before high noon will drop the elect part of that title and be simply Mayor Muriel Bowser. Council Chair Phil Mendelssohn, members of the new City Council, which means the entire council. because this is the 2015 council, just as this is a new year for our ANC commissioners and our school board and shadow representatives, and a new era, especially for our new Attorney General, Carl Racine. Each election gives us a chance to start fresh, free from the mistakes and disappointments of the past year, whether it is your first term or your 14th, as with me. For me, every election brings a term that is new and fresh and happy, and this year I have already cheered myself up as I welcome the new Republican House and Republican Senate. But not to worry yet. Your new mayor, Muriel Bowser, is on the case. Not only has she visited me in the Congress, the new House Chairman, Jason Chaffetz, and I have visited her in her transition headquarters even before she took office. Both Chairman Chaffetz and his Senate counterpart, Chairman Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, have said publicly that they intend to support home rule. Now, this may not look like the best time for us to obtain statehood for the District of Columbia, but my friends, this is the moment to build a strong movement to make the District of Columbia the 51st state of the United States of America. I know I have a strong partner in Muriel Bowser, but it will be up to us all to see to it that the new Congress respects our right as American citizens to govern ourselves as we see fit and to pass whatever council legislation is deemed fit. So cheer up, D.C. It can be done. Unlike most D.C. elected officials, I've spent almost all my service in the Congress in the minority with Republicans in charge. Still, I've found members to work with who have been very helpful to me in our efforts to get things done, at least for the district, from former Speaker Newt Gingrich to the most recent chair of our Committee of Jurisdiction, Darrell Issa. So cheer up, D.C. Our new mayor is not new to her colleagues with whom she has closely worked. She and the council will welcome a new crop of talented members, all with deep knowledge of the city and its government. Ward 6 council member Charles Allen, my own council member who apprenticed so well as chief of staff for former member Tommy Wells, that Ward 6 rewarded him with that seat. Ward 1 council member Brianne Nadeau, who earned her way up from the Orange Hat Patrol to lead her ward, and Elisa Silverman, who once had the role of loose lips on the city paper, and now with the ultimate change-up, gets to be on the other end of the slings and arrows. With all this new talent, we now have added to the veterans whose dedication and accomplishments on the council have earned them their re-election. Anita Bond, at large, Mary Chey, Ward 3, Kenyon McDuffie Pro Temp and Ward 5, and of course the chair, Phil Mendelson. So cheer up, DC. Your city is in fine shape. You've got a talented mayor, city council, and other elected officials. As far as we're concerned, there's nothing for Congress to do, but also cheer. Cheer our city and be grateful for its leadership. Thank you and welcome.
Congressmember Norton, thank you very much. We've got a number of dignitaries here. We like to begin recognizing people. This is just the first list of a few. We'd like to recognize Maryland's Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown, who's with us this morning. Angela also Brooks, the state's attorney, Prince George's County. Rashawn Baker, County Executive, Prince George's County. Ike Leggett, County Executive, Montgomery County. Mayor Bill Ewell of Alexandria, Mayor Michael Nutter, Mayor of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, two of DC's former mayors, Adrian Fenty and Tony Williams. And we have to recognize all of the former members of the DC City Council. Seat over here. Can we ask you to stand? It's like stepping into a time capsule. That's Doug Moore, who refuses to sit down right there. Some things never change. Thank you. A number of other people here with us this morning. We're going to recognize you as we go along. Right about now, we'd like to get into the thick of the program, if you will. We'd like to call up the city's first elected Attorney General, Carl Racine. The oath of office will be administered by Judge Emmett Sullivan, and we will ask Carl Racine's family to join us up here.
For 6 years, I served with Carl Racine on the District of Columbia Judicial Nomination Commission. He was an outstanding commissioner, and it was a pleasure to work with him and other commissioners identifying candidates for appointment by the President to the Superior Court and D.C. Court of Appeals. In my opinion, Carl will be an outstanding Attorney General, and it's my honor and privilege to administer the oath of office to him today. Mr. Racine, are you prepared to take the oath?
I am, Your Honor. Your Honor, my sister runs things around here. She's moving.
Whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
You're good.
Hey. You sure? Hey. I, and state your name,
I, Carl Anthony Racine,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the laws of the United States
the laws of the United States
and of the District of Columbia,
and of the District of Columbia,
and will,
to
to the best of my ability,
the best of my ability,
preserve,
preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
of
Attorney General
Attorney General
for the District of Columbia,
for the District of Columbia,
which I'm about to enter,
which I'm about to enter.
and you have entered. Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you very much. As you can see, the Racine family is one of those families that is not well-bred, but we breed well. I'm going to try to be as mindful of the time restrictions as possible, and don't want to, really miss out on any of the words that I've written. So please bear with me. Congresswoman Norton, Judge Sullivan, Mayor Gray, Mayor-elect Bowser, Chairman Mendelson, council members past, present, and future, family, friends, and residents of the District of Columbia, it is with deep gratitude and sincere humility that I address you as our city's first Attorney General. The establishment of the office of an independent Attorney General is a bold step in our city's historic quest to have a government that is directly accountable to the citizens of the district. As your elected Attorney General, my mission is clear: to use the law as a tool to serve the residents of this great city. Allow me to use some of these 5 minutes to articulate the principles that I'll follow during my tenure. These principles are indeed personified by the lives of 3 people with whom I shared the stage just a moment ago. Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, unyielding and fierce in the defense of civil rights and human rights and dignity of all. 2014 marked the 50th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act and 40 years of limited home rule. These extraordinary milestones were not simply granted to us. Rather, remarkable people like Congresswoman Norton, who've been fighting for civil and human rights since before I was born, helped earn them through blood, sweat, and tears, so that others might experience the promise of freedom and equality on which our country was founded. From her work as an organizer of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Commission and a law student volunteer during the Mississippi Freedom Summer, to her tenure as the first female chair of the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and during her more than 2 decades in Congress, Eleanor Holmes Norton has fought passionately for justice and sought to give voice to the voiceless. While we have made substantial progress in the district, our residents still do not control their own destiny. Like Congresswoman Norton, as your first elected Attorney General, I will be fierce and unyielding in defending the will of the people, including Initiative 71. Like Congresswoman Norton, I'll fight fiercely to level the playing field for our most vulnerable citizens, especially our youth and our seniors. My friend, my mentor, my guide, Judge Emmett Sullivan, independent and courageous in the application of law. The son of a police officer, a prodigious math and science student at McKinley Tech High School, and a graduate, we got some trainers in the house, and a graduate of Howard University Law School. As a jurist, Judge Sullivan has not hesitated to hold the government accountable for failing to adhere to fundamental constitutional requirements. As a judge, he's repeatedly held the most powerful companies in the world accountable for their misdeeds. I will follow Judge Sullivan's model of independence, courage, and dedication to the law. My advice to the mayor, council, and the agency leadership will be based on law and ethics. I will assist the government in achieving its objectives. However, when the government acts contrary to law, I must and I will uphold the law. The third person, my extraordinary mother, Dr. Marie Racine, a picture of compassion and empathy, fueled by a belief that the test of public service is not whether one is added to the abundance of those who have much, but whether we have provided opportunities to those who have little. Mom, you've shown extraordinary compassion and empathy every single day of your life. As a teacher at UDC for 45 years and a volunteer performing countless hours of work for the poorest women in Latin America and Haiti, you've dedicated yourself to the service of others. I could not ask for a better example of leadership and public service to help shape and guide my life, nor could I ask for a more wonderful mother. Like Marie Racine, as Attorney General, I intend to bring compassion and empathy to every aspect of the job, including the prosecution of our juvenile offenders. I will protect the city from danger. However, I believe we must do everything in our power to break the cycle of hopelessness and helplessness that leads to crime and incarceration that is so prevalent in our city today. I look forward to working with the mayor, the council, the criminal justice partners, and our schools to develop alternatives to warehousing our youth offenders. I will protect our most vulnerable citizens with compassion and empathy that I've learned from my mother. As your Attorney General, I will strive each day to follow the principles and the high standards that Congresswoman Norton, Judge Sullivan, and yes, my mom, have lived. I commit to you today that I will remain fierce and unyielding in defending the rights of our citizens, independent and courageous in providing legal advice to district officials, and compassionate and empathetic in protecting our most vulnerable citizens. I ask that you hold me accountable. Thank you.
The media is going to love this guy. He finished with time still left on the clock. I'd like to recognize Baltimore's great mayor, Stephanie Rollins Blake. Thanks for joining us. Got 3 new council members joining us this morning. The first is going to be the Honorable Brianne Kate Nadeau. She's a council member for Ward 1. The oath will be administered by the Honorable Zoe Bush, Associate Judge, Superior Court, the District of Columbia. Could family members please come up?
Good morning and Happy New Year. It is indeed my honor and privilege to administer the oath to our newest ward member for Ward 1. And the Bible will be held by her mom, Navita. Stand here. Why don't you stand in the middle?
Just go where I'm told.
Okay. All right. And are you prepared to take the oath?
I am.
I, please state your name,
I, Brianne Kruger Nadeau,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
execute the laws of the United States of America
execute the laws of the United States of America
and of the District of Columbia,
and of the District of Columbia,
and will,
to the best of my ability, preserve, protect,
and
defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of the Council
of member of the Council
of the District of Columbia,
of the District of Columbia,
which I'm about to enter. Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge Bush. Good morning. I stand here this morning humbled by the task I'm about to take on, in partnership with our new mayor, attorney general, and all of my new colleagues on the council. Today is the culmination of what I have jokingly called the world's longest job interview. but it is with complete sincerity and deep humility that I will take on this new role in our community. Washington, D.C. is the greatest place in the world. Washington, D.C. is a place where people are working for justice, for equality, and for a brighter future for the next generation. And I knew that even as a child growing up in the Midwest. And so I made it my mission to move here and to pursue a life in service to others. And what I knew in my heart way back then is something that I feel in my bones today, that the people of the District of Columbia are our greatest asset, that by coming together, working together, sharing our experiences and our wisdom, we will move forward together. We will improve the lives of our most vulnerable residents. We will build strong schools for our children and assure our adults have good jobs with fair pay and benefits. We will continue to be a place where businesses thrive. We will continue to be on the cutting edge of progressive policies like the ones that ensure equal rights to our LGBT brothers and sisters and to our immigrant community, as well as those that eliminate laws that unfairly lock up our African American boys. We will keep doing what we think is right, and we will keep fighting for the autonomy we need to get it done. We have work to do. We are in the middle of an affordable housing crisis. We have too many families sleeping in shelters, on couches, and on the streets. We've come a long way in education, but we need to be lifting up our most vulnerable kids by providing them with the essential services that meet their basic needs and allow them to focus on learning. And please notice that I'm saying we have work to do. Because you may have elected us all to lead the community on these issues, but we need you. We need you to help us get it done. And in the coming months, we'll be calling on you to lend your expertise, your time, to being a part of the solutions, to volunteer in your neighborhood school, to be a part of policy discussions, to report problems on your block or in your ward, and we're counting on you to help us get this done. There are many, many people I'd like to thank for supporting me thus far, my family and friends, mentors and colleagues, and most especially, the people of Ward 1. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to convene you, to engage you, and to lead you in our efforts to improve the district. With the great team of staff we've assembled to carry out our work across the ward, I can assure you that you're in good hands. And I will invite you now, and many, many more times in the future, to join us in our office hours at a local coffee shop, in dialogue at our community conversations, as a block leader to help us gather and disseminate information, or volunteering your time in the Ward 1 Council office. I welcome your ideas, even when we disagree. There are so many tremendous community leaders in Ward 1 who have come before me, and I plan to learn from every single one of them. Because in order to build our future, we must honor our past. Thank you.
Could we ask members of the diplomatic corps who've joined us this morning to stand so that we could recognize you? I understand Pakistan's Ambassador Jilani is here. Thank you. Next up is the Honorable Mary Che. She's a council member from Ward 3. The oath will be administered by the Honorable Colleen Kohler-Cotelli. She's District Judge, U.S. District Court.
please state your name.
I, Mary M. Che,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
execute the laws
execute the laws
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and of the District of Columbia,
and of the District of Columbia,
and will,
and
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
preserve,
preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend
the
the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the United States,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of member of the Council of the District of Columbia,
of member of the Council of the District of Columbia,
which I'm about to enter.
which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Good morning, everybody. I want to thank Federal District Judge Kolar Catelli for swearing me in. Thank you very much, Judge. I appeared before her many, many years ago as a very young lawyer when I did a stint at the U.S. Attorney's Office, and she was always very tolerant of my inexperience, within reason. So thank you very much, Judge. Mayor Gray, Mayor-elect Bowser, Chairman Mendelson, Attorney General Racine, Delegate Norton, my council colleagues, honorable judges, clergy, guests, and all friends of the District of Columbia, let me say what a thrill it is to participate in this day with all of you. And it is as thrilling today as it was the last 2 times I had the honor to take the oath of office. We, all of us, are witnessing firsthand the wonder and the joy of living in a democracy. We have elections, people decide, and then there's an orderly and even celebratory transfer of power. No armies, no coups, no resistance, and we often take this for granted, and that itself may be a cause for celebration. But freedom, as you know, has been hard-won, and it's just plain thrilling to see it over and over and over again. Of course, our democracy here in the district remains impoverished, incomplete. It's a source of great sadness for us that we're the only capital in the free world where the residents cannot vote in the halls of their national legislature. We must use every lever, and we need your help on this, Mr. Attorney General, to change this deep injustice. It's all very well that the president put the no taxation without representation plates on his limousine, and I do thank him for that. But really, is that it? Is that really it? No, we need justice. We need control of our own destiny. And we will have it, one way or the other, and sometime soon, I hope. Now just look at us. Look at who we are and all that we've done. With our residents behind us, the council and the mayor have joined hands to ensure that, as other jurisdictions have struggled, some mightily, we stood and stand on solid financial ground. Our reserves have been built back. Our bond ratings are very strong indeed. We've lowered taxes. We've made the system fair and more progressive. Thank you, Mayor Gray, and thank you, colleagues. We've led or been at the forefront of the nation in so many areas: transportation innovation, and yes, we will get the streetcars started, okay? Environmental protection, energy and climate change reforms, consumer protection, minimum wage increases, linked, by the way, in the future to the Consumer Price Index, worker safety, election reforms, marriage equality, school reform, renovation of our schools, our parks, firehouses, libraries, bridges. We have responsive public services, and the list goes on and on. I repeatedly get requests from other jurisdictions for our legislation and asking us, how did we do it? You should know this and you should be proud of it. But we know that our continued success will be a heavy lift. Our recent revenue estimates have been flat and declining. So we have to be very careful about how we spend our money, how we invest, how we relentlessly look for efficiencies, and we must make programs justify themselves on a periodic basis. We all know that challenges await us. Look at education. Yes, there have been some modest upticks in test scores, and yes, there have been some reforms, but progress has been too slow and too limited. We need less testing and more time in education. We need to challenge our kids. They can meet the challenges. We need to raise their expectations, expose them to the many possibilities that await them, give them the tools, harness their ambition, and bring learning alive. After all, as Yeats said, education is not the filling of a pail, it's the lighting of a fire. Let's show them what they can do, and they'll do it. And we have many challenges in meeting the needs of those who, the late Mayor Marion Barry, God rest his soul, always called the least, the lost, and the left behind. We lock up too many people. We train folks for jobs but offer too little help in placement. We offer a form of shelter to the homeless, but everybody knows we need more affordable housing. We want people to work, but make childcare assistance way too difficult. These are the kinds of things that will need our immediate attention. Now, today we have great hopes, and we should have great hopes. We will build on our successes, and we will take next steps. We have a new mayor, new members of the council. Of course, it is important that some of us are continuing. Okay. A new elected attorney general, and we have the energy, the vitality, and the focus to move ahead. Now, all change is tinged with uncertainty, of course. And many people have asked me, sometimes somewhat nervously, how will things work out? Will it be okay? What path will we take? And my answer to you is simple. I know exactly the path that we're going to take. With the people of the District of Columbia, there's only one path. It's forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Up next is the Ward 5 Councilman, Kenyon R. McDuffie, who reminded somebody back in the green room that he graduated from Wilson Senior High School with my daughter. He's young, but he's good. Administering the oath will be the Honorable Eric P. Christian.
Bear with us. I've got a large family as well. I think I'm this side, right, Judge? Y'all come right here. Turn around. Just stand right here. I think this is how we're supposed to be. Some of y'all might want to be on the other side of the judge, too, y'all.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor and privilege to swear in this morning a native Washingtonian and Bruce Johnson, not only Wilson Tiger with former Mayor Adrian Fenty, but also a student at the Fighting Lions of Archbishop Carroll. Mr. McDuffie, are you ready to be sworn in to take the oath? Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Kenyon McDuffie,
Do solemnly swear
that
I will faithfully execute
I will faithfully execute
the laws of the United States of America
the laws of the United States of America
and of the District of Columbia,
and of the District of Columbia,
and will,
and will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
preserve,
preserve,
protect, and defend
the
Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the United States,
and will faithfully discharge
the
duties of office
duties of office
of a member of the Council
of a member of the Council
of the District of Columbia,
of the District of Columbia,
which I'm about to enter.
which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm going to give a quick speech. Oh, Casey, come here, Casey. Come on, guys. Thank you all. Thank you. I wish everybody in Ward 5 could see what she just did. And now they'd understand why it's so hard for me to make it to every single meeting that we have in the community. Good morning. I want to begin by thanking our outgoing mayor, the Honorable Vincent C. Gray, a true public servant. Mr. Mayor, thank you for your tireless work and commitment to creating the greatest city on earth. Also, I want to say thank you and thank you for being here to Mayors Williams and Fenty, to our judges and other distinguished guests. Thank you to the Honorable Eric Christian for swearing me in this morning. I was honored to have Judge Christian swear me in when I first took office in 2012, and I appreciate you being here today. Next, I want to say thank you to my colleagues on the council, who I've served with over the past 2.5 years. Including Chairman Middleton and Council Members Bonds and Che, who will be sworn in today, as well as Council Members Catania, Graham, and Wells, who won't be returning to the council, who've been given so much to the city in their tenures on the council. Let's give them a round of applause as well. I have sincerely enjoyed working with each of you to improve the quality of lives of the residents of the District of Columbia. And to our newly elected council members who will be sworn in today, and a couple have already taken oath, Charles Allen, Brianna Doe, and Alyssa Silverman, congratulations to you. The work that we have to do in the council is truly transformative, and I look forward to serving alongside you. To Carl Racine, congratulations. You are the first ever elected Attorney General of the District of Columbia. I really look forward to serving alongside you and working with you. And congratulations to Mayor-elect and soon-to-be Mayor Muriel Bowser. Now, Muriel, you were born and raised in Ward 5, right North Michigan Park, as I look out and see Mr. and Mrs. Bowser. So you know that folks in Ward 5 are excited to have you as our mayor. We look forward to working with you. I worked well with you since my tenure on the council began 2.5 years ago, and I really look forward to the fresh start that you will bring to the Wilson Building. Thank you to my awesome staff, all the advisory neighborhood commissioners, civic association leadership, for all your dedicated work to the residents of the District of Columbia. And thank you to my family, my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sister, all of my nieces and nephews, my in-laws, and especially to my extraordinary wife, Princess, and my two little princesses, Casey and Josie. Each of you has contributed significantly to all that I have achieved, not just this recent election, but to the man who I am as I stand on this very stage today. And I'm forever grateful for all the lessons that you've taught me, the personal interest that you've taken in my own success, and the many sacrifices that you have made in order for me to serve the city as council member. And thank you to the thousands of Ward 5 residents who place your trust in me with your vote. Ward 5, where are you? Let them know where you are, Ward 5. For the last 2.5 years, as I said, you've placed your trust in me with your vote, and you've placed your faith in me as your elected representative to the council, and for that I am grateful and indebted to you. Since taking office, I have poured my heart and soul into this work. I love the District of Columbia. Let me say that again. I love my city. My approach to governing has been simple. It's been to use what's best about our city to fulfill my duty as a public official to create laws and public policies that engender fairness, justice, and provide for the basic needs of the least among us. In the words of Henry Clay, government is a trust, and the officers of government are trustees. And both the trust and trustees are created for the benefit of the people. And you are the people. Everyone seated in this convention center, the 660,000 residents of the District of Columbia, you are the people. Everyone. And you are why I serve. You are the reason why I've worked finally to bring an engineering solution to address the 100-year-old problem of flooding in the Bloomingdale community. You're the reason why I've worked to usher through the council the most comprehensive campaign finance reform legislation in our city's recent history. You're the reason why I've worked with my colleagues to enact 4 major affordable housing bills, including a law that will require affordable housing set-asides when we dispose of our public land. You're also the reason why I've worked to establish the Ward 5 Industrial Land Transformation Task Force to address the many environmental concerns associated with Ward 5's industrial land. You're the reason why I've worked with advocates to amend and strengthen our ban-the-box legislation in D.C. in order to give our returning citizens a fair shot at gaining meaningful employment. And you are why I will return to this council and redouble my efforts to bring the least amongst us out of the shadows and into the forefront of our city, to ensure that every child in the district has access to a quality education, to ensure that our seniors who have labored in the workplace for decades and who, after contributing to this city, are finally able to retire. I want to ensure that they enjoy the progress of our city, the progress that we are seeing today. I want them to be able to live happily on their modest incomes in the very same communities and homes that they helped to create. I can go on, and I'm a little raspy, and what's lucky for you is I'm going to cut this a little short. But I'm so honored to have been reelected by the residents of Ward 5 to serve my first full term on the Council of the District of Columbia. And to paraphrase renowned lawyer and businessman Bill Coleman, the promise of America's dream will be realized only when all of its citizens are able to participate fully in self-government. And I will not rest. I will not rest until the 660,000 residents of the District of Columbia have the same rights in Congress as every other citizen in these United States. That means budget autonomy, Congresswoman Norton. That means voting rights, and then ultimately statehood for the District of Columbia, the 51st state in the United States. Thank you. May God bless you, and may God bless the District of Columbia.
Up next, one of 3 new council members, Charles Allen. He's going to be the new council member for Ward 6. The oath will be administered by Judge Gregory Mize, D.C. Superior Court. Could the family please come up?
It's indeed my honor also to swear in a very talented young man, Charles Allen. And it's a personal joy also to be here. I, several decades ago, was the general counsel to the D.C. City Council. And I see many of my former clients out there. It's good to be with you. Charles, are we ready?
We are.
Placing your hand on the Bible, please repeat after me. I, Charles Allen,
I, Charles Allen,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the laws of the United States of America
the laws of the United States of America,
and of the District of Columbia,
of the District of Columbia,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
and will faithfully discharge
the
duties of the office
of
member of the Council of the District of Columbia,
member of the office of the Council of the District of Columbia,
which I am about to enter,
which I'm about to enter.
and which you have.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
For anyone who knows a 2-year-old, that actually went remarkably well. Well, good morning, everybody. I am honored and humbled to stand here today. And first, let me thank Judge Gregory Mize for administering the oath of office. In case you didn't know, Judge Mize was the first General Counsel of the District of Columbia, and working with David Clark and others, he helped write many of the laws that are the building blocks of the district's self-governance. And I think it's more than fitting as we begin the new council period, one in which more than half of the members after the April special election will be in their first full term, and 5 of us in our very first year, that we draw upon our history and those that laid the foundation upon which we continue to build. Please join me in thanking Judge Mize for his ongoing service to the District of Columbia. And there are also so many people to thank that have helped make this day a reality for me. Too many to name, or else we would be well past noon, Madam Mayor. But I do want to thank my family, but I do want to single out 2 very special people. Without their incredible support, their patience, and their love, I would never have been able to even take the first step in this journey, and that's my wife, Jordy, and my daughter, Cora Neal. I may not have been born in the district, but it didn't take me long to fall in love with my city. It's not just the place I call home, it's the place where I met and married my wife. It's the place where our daughter was born. It's the place we want to raise our family. It's the place we want to send our child to school. It's the place where I want my wife and I to grow old. It's the place that I don't want to leave, and I know that I'm not the only person in this room who feels that way. I ran for this seat with the idea that every neighborhood should be a place that we can always call home, working for great schools and tackling school reform, fighting for new ideas that keep residents in their homes as they age, ensuring the city makes family-based affordable housing a priority, and continuing to support our entrepreneurs and grow our small businesses that become the backbone and the job creators in our communities. And now it is truly an honor to take this oath of office and to stand before you as the Ward 6 council member. As I was preparing for this day, there was one brief but important conversation that I actually had on election day that kept coming to mind. Jordy, Cora, and I were walking to the polls to cast our own votes. And we were blocks away from home and a few blocks away from our polling location, and I passed a woman on the sidewalk. We exchanged a quick hello, and as she passed, she shouted back to me, "Wait, did I just vote for you?" And I replied, "I sure hope so." We hadn't met during the campaign, but she told me that she was impressed by what she'd read and heard were my priorities. We chatted briefly, and as we went our separate ways, she said to me, "I'm counting on you to do what you say and to represent me and my family." And I said I'd work hard to do just that. I thanked her again for her vote, and we headed to cast our own ballots. But it was a conversation that stuck with me, and the trust that she was willing to give me. And then 3 or 4 days later, I got a card in the mail. And it read, "Dear Mr. Allen, you did it. Congratulations. You and your lovely wife and daughter will always be in my prayers. You have a big job ahead. Proceed with caution, but be of good cheer and grace. Peace, the person you met on 15th Street as you were headed to the polls." And that exchange helps remind me what's most important and puts the job that I'm about to begin for Ward 6 in perspective. From Shaw to Southwest, from H Street to Hill East, from Noma to Navy Yard and across Capitol Hill, Ward 6 is a snapshot of our city. I believe that unlike any other, Ward 6 is that snapshot. It represents and celebrates our diversity, and I believe it reflects not only the district's tremendous success stories, but it also reflects the immense challenges that we must confront. As just the 5th council member to represent Ward 6, I want to acknowledge Ward 6's long tradition of outstanding leadership and vision on the council. Following in the footsteps of Tommy Wells, Sharon Ambrose, Harold Brazil, and Nadine Winter is a tall task, but it's one I'm excited by the opportunity and ready to get to work. I'm also excited about where we find this council. 2 years ago, our council stood at a crossroads. After years of a high level of confidence and pride, the city's public trust was broken. And that break is part of what motivated me to step forward and want to serve my community and my city. But a focus on integrity is not just a campaign season issue. It must be built into the character of our elected officials and demanded by our residents. Thanks to the hard work of many people that are on this stage, and in particular our chairman, Phil Mendelson, I believe this council is ready to restore that trust, and its best days are still ahead. I spoke about it on the campaign trail frequently, but I view public trust as something that we can only ask to borrow. We have no right to it, and it's yours to give. And one thing I learned over the last year, there is nothing as humbling as putting your own name on a ballot and asking your friends and neighbors if you can borrow that trust. But here's the deal. If trust can be borrowed, it can also be taken away. And every election, we must ask to borrow that trust again. And that's why that simple and heartfelt appeal from the woman on the sidewalk on the way to the polls really struck so strongly in my mind. So I'm not interested in just filling a seat on this council. I'm interested in rolling up my shirt sleeves, getting to work to make our lives better, to make our children's lives better. Our neighborhoods and our city have to be a great place to grow up, and they've got to be a great place to grow old, and I believe they will be. To the members on the stage who I can now call my colleagues, to our outgoing mayor, to whom we owe a great gratitude for his service, to our mayor-elect on the cusp of taking the reins, to our new Mr. Attorney General, and of course to our Congresswoman and my Ward 6 constituent, I am ready to get to work. So thank you all very much. I'm excited by today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Allen. Up next, the Honorable Anita D. Bonds. She's council member at large. The oath will be administered by the Honorable Inez Smith Reed, Senior Judge, District Court of Appeals.
It is my honor to administer the oath of office to a person who has labored long and hard for the citizens of the District of Columbia. Are you ready to take the oath?
Yes, Judge, I am. Thank you.
I, and please state your name,
I need to put my, that's right. I, Anita Bonds,
do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully execute the laws of the United States of America
the laws of the United States of America
and of the District of Columbia,
and of the District of Columbia,
and will,
to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, and will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of the Council of the District of Columbia, which I'm about to enter. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Judge. Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. And I am very much aware that we are on time, and I'll start by saying to
Mayor Gray, I have 52 pages, as you did the other evening, but I'm not going to do 52 pages. So to Mayor Williams and Mayor Fenty, I'm going to keep it short and sweet, I hope. I will aspire to that. But this is a really great morning for me and for my colleagues and for the elected officials in the District of Columbia and all of our regional friends. Thank you very much for coming out and supporting us, because believe it or not, although my colleague Mary Shea says, you know, she's done this many times, it's still very difficult, because it's an awesome task to be before the people of the District of Columbia and understand that you are the custodian of their dollar, because that's what it ultimately means. And you want to make sure that you spend it wisely. And you want to make sure that you do look out for the least and those that cannot speak for themselves across your city. That's what government is about, is for those that cannot help themselves, as well as to make sure that those of us who expect our trash to be picked up, that it is on time. And so this morning, I am a little nervous, but I'll do my very best. I want to firstly thank everyone, the many citizens of the District of Columbia who assisted in electing me. And that's the endorsing organizations, the volunteers that rallied voters from every constituency and ward area, my colleagues, of course, my friends, and my family for their everlasting support and sage advice, including from Mayor for Life, Marion Barry, who was my mentor until the end. My special thanks for all for having faith in my candidacy and for electing me to a full 4-term of office. As one of your at-large council members, I am also very humbled, and I look forward to this opportunity to continue serving on behalf of the citizens of D.C. Today, our city of 650,000 plus continues growing by leaps and bounds, and we now boast the national title of coolest city in America. Mr. Tucker, I think we've come a long way from the protests of the 1960s, nearly financial ruin of the 90s, and the recession of the early 2000s, Mayor. Today, we are experiencing an unprecedented economic boom that has led to a resurgence of population and abundant opportunities across many neighborhoods. The arts are reborn, nightlife is flourishing, a new downtown core of towering apartments, bike lanes, and multiple choices of commercial transportation overflows with hospitality, industry, and entertainment businesses. The budding high-tech industry, inclusive of Microsoft's training facility located in Congress Heights on the St. Elizabeth's campus, is a strong signal that the D.C. economy is solid and striving. Revenues derived from the progress provide for education, jobs, cleaning up our waterways, public safety services, affordable housing, and outreach to elderly residents that are alone, sick, and hungry. Yet you and I know that many across the city do not share in the prosperity. Income inequality divides the city, just as diabetes, HIV, and heart disease disproportionately affect the poor and people of color. Unemployment remains high, wages are stagnated, market rate housing is nearly unaffordable, middle income home ownership is almost unobtainable, educational progress in many neighborhood schools remains hugely challenging. Children and the elderly continue to live in poverty, and or worse, young families are experiencing homelessness. As government continues moving forward, let's bridge the divide, and leave no one behind. Let's expand opportunities across all neighborhoods and constituencies. Now, during the past months of the council, I have proudly advanced and voted for increased opportunities for residents and businesses, many of the decisions affecting the metropolitan DC region. The council, of course, raised the minimum wage to one of the highest in the nation. We guaranteed sick leave for all workers and banned the box to allow returning citizens a fairer playing field to gain employment. We established the DC Health Link, allowing residents nearly universal health coverage, and we supported educational reform through equal allocation of resources to all schools, as there should be no tension between good schools and bad schools. All DC schools should be good. Proudly, I fought to keep seniors in DC and in their homes as they struggle to pay rising property taxes, as the value of their homes increases in the rapidly rising economy. And I voted to provide a minimum annual funding of $100 million annually to build affordable housing so that our hometown will remain as diverse economically as it is socially and culturally. Yes, the DC government has accomplished much, and much under the dedicated leadership of Mayor Gray, and working with the council, the courts, and Congresswoman on the Hill. DC has progressed on many issues. Today, we move forward, inaugurating the new mayor, Muriel Bowser, who brings fresh beginnings and perspectives as she carries out her vision and policies. I am confident, as you are too, that she will make DC proud. Having spent the better part of my adult life advocating for justice and equality, working to uplift communities, mentoring and giving back so that all people, regardless of their age, gender, identification, race, sexual orientation, or religious beliefs, has an equal opportunity to succeed. At the council, I began focusing closely on the relationship between housing affordability and its effects on community stabilization. For months, I met with a working group of tenant leaders, developers, landlords, government officials, housing advocates, ANCs, homeowners, real estate brokers, and bankers to create a comprehensive approach to ensuring that DC becomes a place that many can call home, whether one is rich or low income, young or elderly, disabled or in the best of health, and irrespective of one's identity or background. It's an opportunity to look at DC from the eyes of our residents. And I am going to close on this, but I would like to say, I am humbled by the prospect of continuing on your behalf. Thank you again for the opportunity to do this great job for this great community in this great time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Up next, Alyssa Silverman. She'll be joining the council as an at-large member. Administering the oath will be the Honorable Noel Johnson, judge with DC Superior Court. Could the family please join us?
Good morning. Or is it afternoon? I hope not. I've had the experience of being Alyssa's friend for a long time, and in that time I've come to admire her intelligence, her integrity, and her valor. And I speak for the entire posse that's coming up right now in saying that she may have won an election, but honestly, You are the winners here in DC for having her on the council, and I look forward to having the honor of participating in give the oath today. Are you ready?
I am.
You'll repeat after me. I, Alyssa Silverman,
I, Alyssa Silverman,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the laws of the United States of America
that I will faithfully execute the laws of the United States of America
and of the District of Columbia,
and of the District of Columbia,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Member of the Council
of the office of Member of the Council
of the District of Columbia,
of the District of Columbia,
which I'm about to enter.
which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My greetings to all the elected officials assembled, almost all of whom I've written about, and especially to my Western High School classmate and tennis teammate, Stephanie Rawlings Blake, the Mayor of Baltimore. Some of you have told me I'm the last person you thought would be standing here today, taking the oath of office to join DC government, a government I've spent almost 2 decades writing about. Along the way, as a reporter, as a policy analyst, and as a civic activist, I've met thousands of district residents who have big dreams for our city and ideas on how it can be even better. They inspire me. I came to Washington, D.C. as a cub reporter, assuming I'd write about the Washington that happens in the halls of the U.S. Capitol. But in February 1997, I took a freelance assignment with the city paper. It took 3 buses to report that story at Patterson Elementary School. As I rode the 42, the A8, and the P6, crossing the Anacostia River, I saw the real Washington, D.C., the city that thousands of residents call home. The city in which more than 600,000 voices can be silenced by just one in Congress. That is wrong, and that's why I support the fight for full voting representation and statehood. That's right. For almost 2 decades, I've cared about this Washington, D.C. Yes, there were many stories about division and dysfunction. But over the years, I've seen many more stories that are about excitement and hope for our city and working together for the greater good. Today, I am honored to work with you to create a Washington, D.C. of justice and opportunity for all. I owe the fact that I'm standing here today to the people who just joined me on this stage and to dozens more friends, family members, supporters, and colleagues. My brother Jonathan, who served as my chief visibility officer, my chief accountability officer,
and the champion of our campaign motto, keep it simple, make it fun. And two parents, Ruth and Jack, who instilled in me a sense of what is right and what is wrong, and helped me understand the challenges we face as a city and as a society. I'm very lucky that they are here to see this day. That's right. And they're both getting used to the fact that people can now call me the Honorable Alyssa Silverman. My parents believed in public schools. The education I got in Baltimore City public schools was not just about reading and math. I saw what neighborhood you came from and how the color and hue of your skin can determine how people see your place in this world, how hard it is to break the cycle of poverty, even with innate smarts and access to education. But I also saw that it's possible to transcend, to overcome, to succeed, and pave a path for others to do the same. Those are the stories I want to help create. The next stories of DC, the stories in which we unleash all that potential to become an even greater city. I have met so many district residents who know it is possible. There is the dad of 3 students at Stanton Elementary School in Ward 8 who not only regularly volunteers, but treated me to a delicious tuna macaroni salad at a Thanksgiving lunch. It was delicious. I want to work with him to create a story in which his sons get a great DCPS education that will prepare them to reach their highest potential. And there is Beulah, who is in her 80s and still working in home health care. I want to work with Beulah to create a story in which she and her colleagues earn a living wage and have an affordable place to live in our city. That's right. Working people of low and moderate income need to feel like Washington is a place that still welcomes them, and that they are able to afford to live here and stay here and raise their families here. And there is CG and Kurt at Miriam's Kitchen, and Ed, Kate, and Jenny at DCFPI, and all the colleagues at other nonprofits. I want to work with them to create a story in which we keep healthy and safe our most vulnerable residents. I will work hard to make sure that a story like that of Relisha Rudd is never, ever written again. We can create these great stories if we have a government that is responsive and responsible, a government in which integrity is a core value, and that is transparent and accountable to residents. I think we have that foundation in place, and I am excited to work with both my fellow new members and our veteran colleagues on the council, as well as Mayor Bowser and her administration, to unleash the potential of every district resident. I am also excited to work with our new city auditor, Kathy Patterson, who has been a mentor to me. In these efforts, I'm guided by the words of former Mayor Marion Barry, who wrote of his commitment, and I quote, "to manage a government that is progressive and more oriented to uplift the people." And I'm guided by the memories of civic leaders Steve Simrot as well as A.J. Cooper, who accomplished a great deal in a life cut too short. I'm honored his fiancée, Ryan, could join me on this stage today. My story has been a surprising and certainly an unpredictable one. I am so grateful for everyone who helped me on a journey that has led me to this place at this important time in our city. A time in which we can create a story in which DC is a city of fairness and equal opportunity for all. It is my honor and privilege to represent you on the DC Council. Thank you all so much.
Up next is Phil Mendelson, Chairman of the DC Council. The oath of office will be administered by Judge John Theron, DC Court of Appeals. Family, please come up.
Stand tall. Oop, I have the Bible right here.
Good morning. Phil Mendelson has served on the DC Council since 1998 and is its chair since early 2012. It's really an honor to be able to swear you in this morning, Mr. Chairman, and also to introduce to you his daughter, Addie, a student at the Duke Ellington School of the Arts. And she'll hold the Bible for her father. Mr. Chairman, are you ready to take the oath of office?
Yes, I am.
Raise your right hand and follow me. I, Phil Mendelson,
I, Phil Mendelson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the laws of the United States of America
the laws of the United States of America
and of the District of Columbia,
and of the District of Columbia,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve,
protect,
and defend the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Chairman of the Council
the duties of the office of Chairman of the Council
of the District of Columbia, which I am about to enter. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Addie. Mayor Gray, Mayor-elect Bowser, Congresswoman Norton, judges, colleagues, former council members, Mr. Attorney General, dignitaries, elected officials from other jurisdictions who are with us, our regional partners, and citizens of the District of Columbia, good morning. It is a blessing to be here. First, I want to thank Judge John Theron for administering my oath of office. Judge Theron has served on the District of Columbia Court of Appeals either in active or senior status since the 1970s, except when he served the district in a position then known as Corporation Counsel. He is a widely respected jurist, and I thank him. Today is a day filled with hope and celebration. Before you are a new mayor, 3 new council members, and our first ever elected attorney general. Indeed, in the forthcoming council period, over half of the council members will be serving their first term. There's no question but that this government is on the brink of a new era. We will see what this new era brings. In a few hours, the new council will meet and adopt its committee structure for the next 2 years. Fundamental themes in the structure I am recommending are education, housing, and homelessness. We will continue our focus on improving public education by maintaining a standalone committee on education. We will increase our focus on affordable housing by establishing a new committee on housing and community development. And we will expand our capacity to focus on homelessness by sharing oversight between 2 committees, the Committee of the Whole and the Committee on Health and Human Services. These are the greatest challenges facing the city today. You know, ever since my first re-election, my daughter has joined me on this stage as I have taken the oath of office. She has always attended DCPS schools and has been fortunate at being at some of the best, John Eaton Elementary, Deal Middle, and now Duke Ellington School of the Arts. But as we all know, But as we all know, too many of our children are not attending such great schools. Yet public education is the great equalizer our country has to offer, an opportunity for every child, regardless of background and economic status, to succeed and realize his or her dreams. We've made great progress in recent years, and I thank Mayor Gray and Chancellor Henderson for the gains. But still, almost half our kids are not proficient in reading or math. However, this does not mean we should go back to the days of destruction and confrontation. I do not believe, as a former chancellor once said, that collaboration and consensus building are way overrated. Rather, the only way to achieve deep and lasting reform is through collaboration and consensus building. Results are important, but the way we govern is also important. Talking and listening to people, offering respect, building as much consensus as possible, and then powerfully moving forward together is the right way to govern. Good government comes from an attitude that people are important, that accountability means transparency, that collaboration is essential, and that usually the right result is the one that has broad support. I speak of collaboration between government and its citizens, but collaboration between the branches of government is also important. I learned early in my first term, when the council was bickering with Mayor Anthony Williams, that our citizens don't like that. They want the branches of government to work together, and indeed, when we do, the reforms we achieve can be incredible. While the council must be strong and independent, we are part of a team. I look forward to being aggressive in oversight, but I also look forward to working closely with Mayor Bowser and with Attorney General Karl Racine. Our city is undergoing a remarkable boom. DC-based jobs are growing, our population is growing, city revenues are growing, and yet in the midst of this economic success, or perhaps because of it, there are many residents who are afraid. For some, it's about jobs, but for many, it's about whether they can afford to stay. This is why we must address housing needs. We see it with the rising number of homeless. We see it with the waiting list for public housing and unmet demand for housing vouchers. We also see it with low middle income workers who struggle to make the rent and can't afford to own. Over the past year, we've adopted several strategies to help. First, working with our regional partners in Montgomery and Prince George's counties, we've raised the minimum wage to put more money in the wallets of the lowest paid workers. Second, we adopted a tax reduction package based on the recommendations of the Tax Revision Commission that will especially help low and middle income workers. Third, we've added substantial funding to housing programs, including the Housing Production Trust Fund. I am hopeful that our new council committees will be better positioned to tackle these challenges. And there is no question but that a new mayor, 5 new council members, and our first ever elected attorney general will bring new energy, perspectives, and priorities to the government. Much is expected of us. However, changing the faces at City Hall does not, by itself, guarantee either success or good government. Rather, good government is grounded in honesty, integrity, collaboration, and hard work. And the essence of these qualities can be found, if it exists, only in the moral fiber and work ethic of the people we elect. That is to say, integrity is an imperative of good government, but it cannot be mandated, it cannot be legislated. It is found only within our individual character. I raise this because clearly government integrity is an important concern. Indeed, I believe it has been a common theme in the last several elections, which is appropriate, because the essence of good government comes first from the essence of those who lead the government. No amount of legislative reform can counteract a corrupt official. The solution must come from focusing on the office holder. Elect representatives who are honest and morally grounded. Before I close, I want to address one other issue. We have got to find a way to invigorate our citizenry to fight for statehood. Citizens of the district should have the same rights that the citizens of the 50 states have. Surely we have the same responsibilities, including paying federal taxes and sacrificing our sons and daughters in war. I do not know the winning strategy, but I do know this. I will continue our fight for budget autonomy. I will send Initiative 71 to Congress as required under the Home Rule Act. And I will work with our mayor and with our congresswoman to ensure no erosion in what limited home rule we have. All of us are here today because we care deeply about our city. This is an exciting day filled with hope. There's no reason we can't be the best in public education, public safety, public health, public works, and a city that works for everyone, a city on a hill. Thank you.
Okay, we're right on time. Could we ask for the family of Mayor-elect Bowser to start coming up on stage, please? And as I said that, I lost my place. Got three things to point out while the family is joining us on stage. We're going to have Mayor-elect Bowser take the oath of office. It's going to be administered, as you can see, I don't have my pages in front of me, so I'm winging this. It's going to be administered by Eric Washington, Chief Judge, D.C. Court of Appeals. Then we're going to have the passing of the seal. Mayor Gray will pass the seal to the new mayor, Muriel Bowser. Then we will have the mayor's inaugural address.
Councilmember Bowser, are you prepared to take the oath of office and become the next mayor of the District of Columbia?
I am, Judge.
Would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, and state your name,
I, Muriel Elizabeth Bowser,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the laws of the United States of America
the laws of the United States of America
and of the District of Columbia,
and of the District of Columbia,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the Mayor of the District of Columbia,
the duties of the Mayor of the District of Columbia,
which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Judge. Thank you, Judge. Well, good morning. And thank you for joining us here today. It is indeed the greatest honor of my life to be sworn in as mayor of my hometown. Today, as we begin a new year, we come together to renew our commitment to this city. Grateful for God's love and mercy, knowing that we build on the work of generations of Washingtonians who have fought to make this city a great place to live, work, and raise a family. And knowing that now the responsibility is ours, knowing that we are Washington, D.C. It's a new day in Washington, a fresh start for all of our families that call D.C. home. It's a time to reinvent our government, making it better, more efficient, and dedicated to supporting all of our families. 2 months ago, we came together on Election Day to reaffirm our democratic values, that each of us is equal in the eyes of God and our government, that every Washingtonian deserves a fair shot and a seat at the table, that every Washingtonian deserves the opportunity to live in a safe and affordable home, and that the middle class is worth protecting and fighting for. In this administration, a Bowser administration, we're going to fight for those values. Everybody knows by now that I'm Joan and Joe Bowser's youngest daughter. You know that I proudly served Riggs Park in Ward 4 in the council for the last 7.5 years. I walked in the footsteps of Arrington, Charlene, and Adrian, and I continue to be grateful for the love and trust of the people who elected me 3 times. You know that my folks live in Ward 5, my sister in Ward 8, 2 of my brothers in 6 and 7, and me in Ward 4. We are Washington, D.C. What you might not know is that I find peace in Rock Creek Park, and to reset and recenter, I just have to see the ocean every now and then. If you're like me, you enjoy one of the best views of the city from the vista just in front of Our Lady of Perpetual Help, overlooking our great Anacostia River. You probably know by now I'm fiercely loyal and disciplined and not easily moved from a winning plan. And you've probably learned recently that I'm not scared of a challenge. I won't run from a debate. Actually, I kind of enjoyed them. I tell anyone that I can find that I'm a native Washingtonian, not to divide us, but because I'm proud. I bet you don't know this, though. One of the single biggest surprises and delights of this campaign was the reaction I got from little girls, the 8-year-olds for sure. They watched me, they cheered me on, and they inspired me to keep pushing, to live up to their hopes and dreams. You probably know that there are a handful of women who run big cities. Stephanie Rawlings Blake from Baltimore is here with us today. Anise Parker and Aja Brown are among them as well. And today, because of you, I am one too. Thank you, Washington, D.C. When I look at our city, I see our promise and I see our great potential. And today, we inherit past successes and failures and overdue promises. But most of all, we inherit the great expectations of a deserving people. Today, we cannot and will not be satisfied with where we are, with the status quo. Today, our city, as much as we've progressed, we know that there are challenges to our progress. On day one, I face a $250 million budget deficit when we walk in the door. We know that we have stalled projects that must get started again. We know that we have ballooning construction costs in some of our big priority projects and a shrinking borrowing capacity that will force us to make tough choices about our priorities. But we will confront our challenges head on, not tomorrow, but today and every day. So here's my promise. We will build a government that this city deserves. I am a steward of this government. This government is not just ours. It belongs to this generation and the next one and the one after that. So it's my charge to make it greener, healthier, safer, and more fiscally stable than we find it today. I am your voice. I ran for mayor not for the kicks or to see my name in lights, but because I understand the great responsibility of leading this city at this time, a time both rich with prosperity and rife with inequality. It is my duty to focus on our men and boys of color and find hope where it is missing and the path to opportunity where it has been lost. I am accountable to you, the people who voted for me, and all of those whose support I've yet to earn. It is my honor to wake up early, go to bed late, and lay it out all on the line in the 16 hours between to serve you. I was elected to lead an ethical government of more than 30,000 hard-working district government employees and to serve with integrity the 660,000 residents of our city. I will have grand expectations, and I expect you will too, like winning the Olympics for Washington, D.C. in 2024. I'll have simple ones too: clear the snow, pick up the trash, pave the streets, synchronize the lights. I will hire the best and brightest people to achieve those goals, and I'm so pleased that he said yes, City Administrator Rashad Young. Give him a round of applause. I will encourage creativity, risk-taking, and innovation. It's my pledge to take sometimes the road less protected, to see jobs and opportunities when others see only the cost, and to praise my staff when they get it right and be the one to tell you if we get it wrong. Now, you know this, I'm not a pie-in-the-sky politician. I believe in making both bold and pragmatic plans and executing them every day. At the end of every day, week, or quarter, our team will have to show results, not just during election season, but for the 4 full years. You know, you see, Joan and Joe Bowser raised me with those good old North Michigan Park values, where you do what you say you're going to do. I said that we would forge a new path for statehood and full democracy in the district, and today we launched an amped-up federal and regional presence from the mayor's office. I'm so delighted to see my favorite county executives from Montgomery and Prince George's here with us today. Ike Leggett and Rushion Baker. I also told you that the time was now to coordinate all of our efforts for our public schools, all of them. And I've appointed a woman to be deputy mayor who can do it, working with Chancellor Henderson and all of our public charter schools. And I'm looking forward to the new deputy mayor for education reporting for duty. I told you we were going to focus on all 8 wards. And the week after I was elected, I showed you my new office in Ward 8, where the deputy mayor for greater economic opportunity would work. And Marion would like me to say, I know that he may not be here, but Ward 8, you are not forgotten. You will have my attention today and every day. Now, some believed it couldn't be done, but I told you we weren't going to give away the Reeves Center. And because you united with me, soccer will stay here in the District of Columbia, and our community will have a chance to weigh in on the Reeves Center future. And if you stay united with me, we'll transform our middle schools, close DC General, and get the streetcar project right. There's so much we can accomplish together. We have to fight homelessness head on and judge ourselves by how we treat those most in need. We're going to stand with our brothers and sisters in labor to fight for good jobs and good wages. To the men and women who dress our hotel rooms, clean our office buildings, and drive our children to school, to them I say thank you and si se puede. We're going to make new innovative improvements to our workforce programs so they actually link DC residents to good paying jobs. We'll invest $100 million in affordable housing so that all of our residents have a chance at joining our middle class. We're going to grow the Marion Barry Summer Youth Employment Program, where we teach young people that hard work is rewarding, not just today, but every day. And we're going to make sure we'll work together so that the violence that has shaken so many of our communities comes to an end. Little Jaden should not be scared to go home. Dear Relisha should be doing the things that little girls do. And no man or woman should live with violence in their home. And I know this, that you'll stand with me as we fight for safety on our streets and in every home. I'm always going to tell you the truth, DC, and this is the truth. We've come a long way in this city together. Great leaders working together, great mayors, great council members, and Mayor Vincent C. Gray. I want to thank you for your leadership. I want to thank you for the successes that you've achieved with your cabinet and staff during the last 4 years. Let's acknowledge Mayor Gray. So let's keep making Washington strong. Let's focus on the small business owner who spends every penny to follow her dream. Let's focus on the police officers who protect and defend our communities and the activists who organize in peaceful protests. Let's focus on our senior citizens who, with their blood, sweat, and tears, brought us to this very day. Let's always remember our LGBT friends. While we have achieved marriage equality, we still have to fight for fair housing and employment in the District of Columbia for all. Let us remember our rich and wonderful history filled with the likes of Julius Hobson, Sterling Tucker, who's with us today, Marion Barry, Polly Shackelford, and our own freedom fighters, Frank Smith and Eleanor Holmes Norton. This is a rich history to be proud of. Let me commit today in front of my friends on the Council of the District of Columbia and you that I will be a collaborative mayor. I will respect the branches of this government and your will. I know that our future is tied with people like Phil Mendelson. He's a son of Ohio and an adopted son of ours. He was an ANC commissioner, council staffer, at-large council member, and now council chair. I look forward to my continued friendship with Phil in leading this city in the way that you would have us work together. I know that our future is also tied to our new elected Attorney General, Carl Racine, and the members of our courts who are the protectors of our laws and freedoms. Our future is with all of us because we are Washington, D.C. I have faith that we'll do it together with a lot of hard work. We will build a city worthy of this occasion and your great expectations. I'm ready to get to work. God bless the District of Columbia.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser. I'd like to bring up Father Patrick Smith of St. Augustine Catholic Church for the benediction.
Again, congratulations, Honorable Mayor. You have a big job ahead of you, but you have a bigger God within you and with you. And so let us pray. Most gracious and good God, we thank you for this city. We thank you from all of us who have lived here all of our lives and all of us who've lived here only a few weeks. We thank you for all that dwell in every ward and in every neighborhood, in every building and on every street corner. Lord, bless our new mayor, Muriel Bowser, with everything she needs to do everything that you require on behalf of everyone in this city. That today she has solemnly sworn to serve to the best of her ability. So help her God. So help her God to faithfully execute the oath she has taken on the day of her inauguration. In times of darkness, give her light. In times of struggle, give her resolve. In times of crisis, give her calm and a level head. When facing tough decisions, give her wisdom to see the right path and the courage to follow it. Surround her with the best of advisors, but also give her ears that are acutely aware of the voices and needs of all the people. Bless her with the support of many leaders throughout the city who have the best interests of the city in mind, so that she knows that she is never alone. And finally, God of justice and mercy, remind all of us, lest we forget, that the ultimate measure of a just society is measured by how the poor and the most vulnerable in that society are faring. We pray today that under the Bowser administration, those with little will never lack, will have no lack, and those most prosperous will have no fear of sharing their good fortune, so that we might move just even one step closer to achieving that dream of the beloved community where all of us live as true sisters and brothers. We ask this and all blessings in your holy and powerful name, and we all say, amen. God bless you.
Father Smith, thank you very much. Mayor Bowser, to the new DC Council, congratulations. Again, to all of you, Happy New Year. Let's go to work.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm delighted to be with you all, and thank you for joining us here at Miriam's Kitchen. And I know you got the notice that we have some exciting personnel announcements to make today. But before we get to that, I wanted to just touch on the briefing that I received about the most recent spike in violent crime that we've seen in the district over the last several days. On Christmas Eve, we saw a number of shootings that resulted in death, in multiple shootings throughout the city. And last night included, there were a number of shootings and robberies in the district. I immediately have, since Christmas Eve, been working very closely with MPD leadership and our chief of police
and know that they are deploying resources around the city to updated patrols, to vice squads, and are also working with their sister agencies to make sure that they have not only increased the presence around the city, but are following likely suspects and making arrests. And so I just want you to be assured that the Metropolitan Police Department is focused on the issues, and none of us are at all satisfied with any violence in our neighborhoods. And I know especially that people are very scared when there's gunfire in their neighborhood, but we're working diligently to get in front of it. But also diligently to make sure that all of the agencies that can provide human services assistance to families are coordinating and are doing that as well, especially during this week where we've seen this spike, but every day we will have a plan to get in front of this violence. Let me now turn to what I think is very exciting news in our personnel announcement. And we're not at Miriam's Kitchen by accident. We know that each and every day there are many families in our city that face the threat and reality of homelessness. And over the last 23 months of my campaign, and certainly the last 7.5 years,